All right, for Module 2, we are moving into informative writing. Most of the modules from here on out involve a writing assignment. Don't let that worry you. I know some students don't like to write. You do have to think. You have to think about every single word, every single sentence, capitalization, punctuation. There's a lot going on in writing. Um, and really, each of these assignments builds upon the next, okay? So you really need to, I think it's set up that you have to do them in order anyway, but there's no reason to skip around because, again, they build on each other, probably like your math lessons do as well. So we are moving into informative writing, and we're going to take a look at 2.01, citing textual evidence. And what that means is that you are providing evidence to back up your claim or your thesis statement. So let's take a look. Again, the first blank is the lesson. The second one, that's where you actually, either take your quiz or submit what it is that the assignment is asking of you. All right. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about citation and summary, and we're going to read an informational article about advertising. All right. So for this lesson, you're going to write an objective summary. Okay. And if you click on that, it lets you know what an objective summary is. So in an objective summary, you are only providing factual information from the original source. So you're not putting in your opinion of anything. All right, you are just explaining. So that's what informative writing is, that you are explaining something. All right. Now, in an objective summary, you are focusing on the main ideas from the text, but you need to put that into your own words. Okay. And I do believe later it asks you for maybe a direct quote. We will get to that later. Okay. So for right now, objective summary, the main ideas from the article, but in your own words, and you're not including any opinion at this point. So let's take a look at the assignment. Always take a look at the sneak peek of the assignment before you start because you can go into the lesson knowing what you're going to have to do at the end. Okay? And that's helpful. All right. So here's what we're going to have to do at the end of this. All right. So we're going to read the article about the history of advertising. And then we need to do, it looks like, 2 items. So, in a complete paragraph of 7 to 10 sentences, write an objective summary of the article. Okay, so that's just what I said a few minutes ago. 7 to 10 sentences about the focusing on the main ideas of the article, but in your own words. Okay, so you should not be copying and pasting anything from the text. All right, in this portion, you are explaining the main ideas in your own words without um, putting in your opinion, okay? It's just informative. So that's step one. Step two, all right, based on what you have read, what can you infer? Okay, what can you, um, draw or what can you conclude about the relationship between advertising and the price that you pay for a product and or service? Okay, so in this one, it's asking you to include a direct quote using proper parenthetical citation from the article to support your inference. All right. And that's going to need to be in 2 to 3 sentences. Okay. So don't forget either one of these, or you're going to be losing a lot of points. It's a two-step process here for this article. All right. And I will show you how to do parenthetical citation at the end of this lesson here. Okay. So, again, going to try to get the main idea, and then we are going to um, make an inference, a judgment about what we think advertising and the price you pay for a product or service, what the relationship between that is. All right. You know by now, as students in English 3, that if you borrow somebody else's ideas or words, you have to give them credit. Okay? Simply taking somebody else's idea and putting it into your own words doesn't make it yours. So you have to give credit where credit is due. All right. Um, so if you make some invention and you have the opportunity to make millions off of this invention, you have to get a patent saying that nobody else can do this exact same thing. Okay. Now, there are loopholes that people can do knockoffs and that will take business away from you. Okay. But it's a law for a reason. Okay. So, I would take a look at this on your own. Why cite? Okay, so you need to avoid plagiarism. Whether your plagiarism is intentional or unintentional, it's plagiarism. It can get you kicked out of an honor society. It can get you zeros on assignments. It could get you kicked out of college, lose your scholarship. So you need to know how to cite, and there's Purdue OWL website that has a writing lab or writing center part of their website that is really good. Also, you can use Son of a Citation Machine and EasyBib and help you make citations as well. The citations are going to let you know how you're going to cite them within your body paragraphs, but also what you're going to put at the end in your works cited page. All right. I am not going to go through this Little Red Riding Hood lesson through this video. You can attend class and we can take a look at it. Okay, so there are 3 ways to present information from somebody else to use it, as your own, as to use it as support in your own writing. But again, you have to give credit. A summary, you are putting in your own words the main idea of somebody else's work, and you need to give credit for that. All right, so you're focusing on the whole article for a summary and the main ideas. Paraphrase, you also need to give credit to the original author, but you are putting a piece of the article into your own words and also giving credit for that. Okay, so you're not using the author's exact words, but you are using his or her idea. So again, you got to pay them. All right, and by paying them, I mean you need to cite it. Okay. Direct quotation is you are taking a short piece of the article, word for word, and you are putting it in quotation marks, letting the reader know that you are using the author's exact words here. Um, and again, that needs to be um, given credit. You need to give credit to the original author. So no matter which of these 3 that you do, you have to give credit where credit is due. Regardless, if you're using summary and paraphrase and you've used your own words, you've still borrowed somebody's idea. All right. So you got to give them credit in all 3 of these. All right. Again, you can go through this. It gives you an example of a summary, gives you an example of a paraphrase, gives you an example of an introduced direct quote. All right. Okay, so this working through this is going to benefit you for the assignment because that's basically what you are doing here. All right, so it's taken the first part of the article that you're using for this assignment. All right, and you're going to match it. Okay, is it a summary? Is it a direct quote? Or is it a paraphrase, just a piece of the article? So I believe you can click and drag or something. Yeah. So you can click and drag those. And again, go through that on your own. We'll look at it deeper at the Google Meet. All right. So the details of the assignment, we're going to click on. Again, if you scroll down and hit print, it should give you the option. You might have to change the destination, but it should give you the option to save in your Google Drive, and that will give you the ability to type right on this document. And you can also highlight. Um, and do like a marking the text or a reading strategy that you have used. If you do save article, it will do the same, but it will give you the option to do it in a Microsoft Word document. All right. All right. So you need to read this article. I'm not going to read it to you. It's very short. Okay. Just like four paragraphs. All right. So, what you need to do is you need to read it. And again, be thinking about that you need to summarize it. So, you're going to need to pull out the main ideas for this objective summary, and you're putting that into your own words. There should not be any direct quotes here. All of the words in these 7 to 10 sentences should be your own words. Okay. And again, you are um, going to give credit where credit is due. So you need to say um, in the article titled Advertising, and you can even say from Encyclopedia Britannica. All right. And again, you're not going to give me any kind of opinion. I think, I feel, I believe. No, it's informative writing. Just state it. Okay. And don't use I in this. Okay. Just state it. So that is part one. Okay. Summary of this article in your own words, but again, letting me know that where this article is coming from. All right. Step 2. Excuse me. Step 2, you're going to have to make a conclusion about the relationship between advertising and the price that you pay for a product and or service. Okay. If I am um, selling some kind of product and I'm going to use a celebrity, a musician, um, if I want Jay-Z to sell my product, that is going to cost me some money. All right. He's well known. He's famous. He's a millionaire, if not a billionaire. He's not going to just do stuff for free. That's why he is rich. All right. So if I have him trying to sell my product as opposed to some like actor off the street, it's going to cost me more in advertising. So therefore, that may cost you more buying that product. Okay. So you need to again refer to the article. So, all right. What's your conclusion about the relationship between advertising and the price you pay for a product, a good, and service? So you're going to answer that. And then you are giving me a direct quote, all right, exactly from the text, um, a quote to support your answer for that. Okay. So you're going to go down, you're going to find a direct quote. At that point, you can copy and paste whatever piece of support you're going to use. All right. Once you end with that direct quote, you need to have what's called a parenthetical citation. So what you are going to do is you need to look down here. All right. This is already done for you. The citation is already done for you. So advertising, there's no author. So advertising, if there was an author, you would use the author's last name. Since there is no author, you're going to use advertising. Okay? That's the title of the article in quotes like that. So whatever direct quote you use, all right, you are going to end that sentence with a parenthesis, advertising in quotation marks, end parenthesis, and then period. All right. And that is how you properly cite it. If it had an author, you would use the author's last name. It doesn't. So you're going to use the title of the article. All right. And then you are just going to go to 2.01, the submission page, and submit that.